You're listening to 17 Carat K-Pop, the podcast that's a little bit of everything with a K-pop twist. From pop culture critiques to the history of K-pop to interviews with people in the K-pop industry and K-pop artists themselves, to concert and album reviews, to a deep dive into the discographies of different K-pop artists, to K-pop news updates, to stories about the music industry more broadly. This show tries to cover everything about K-pop and K-pop as it applies to the larger music and concert scenes. Visit 17caratkpop.weebly.com for more information about the show. That's 17caratkpop.weebly.com. Hello everybody and welcome back to 17 Carat K-Pop. Today on the show we have to talk about three major events that happened this past week or so in the world of K-pop, and then some more rapid-fire headlines from the week. We of course have to start by talking about the Grammys. First of all, I want to say something about the Grammys this year aside from BTS. Overall, I honestly think this was one of the best years of the Grammys ever. I just think it was a really good night for just watching and loving music. There was just such a wide variety of performances, and each one told a story and kind of transported you to a world, whether it was a moss-covered forest you were transported to, or a sunken car scene, or something else, some sort of music video recreation like that. And then, of course, you have like the next level mansion disco party atmosphere of BTS's Dynamite performance. It was just a very, very, very cool, eclectic mix of performances. What I didn't like was the pre-ceremony, though, which is, of course, when BTS actually got to know if they won or not. Some of the speakers seemed to be, like, in a why am I here mood, and what do I say, really annoyed, like, they wanted to stray from the teleprompter and ad-lib and tell jokes and stuff, and they weren't allowed to because of time constraints. So some people, you could just sense the eye rolls coming off of them as they presented. There's some in particular that I was particularly annoyed with because they were annoyed and it was kind of contagious. Like, what is with this toxic vibe you're bringing to this presentation? So I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of the pre-show, but I do like about these virtual shows that, as weird as it sounds, that we get to have a glimpse inside celebrities' homes because it's just very both interesting and because sometimes I just get nosy about the lives of celebrities. But it really just helps us remember that celebrities are human too, and they are going through this weird period of adjustment with us. And whether it's in person or virtual, it's always good to see people who are having the most exciting moment of their lives. It's just so fun to watch them tear up and hug people around them and just get really excited for the fact that they just won a Grammy. So I did love seeing the reactions, even if it was virtual and some were really awkward. The Strokes were the funniest because they stared at the camera for like what felt like 30 seconds straight before realizing that it was their turn to say something. So the world of Zoom has its downsides, but it was still funny to watch. I did get a bit bored as it went on and on and on. And so I really suddenly perked up and was like, finally, when they were announcing for the best performance category, where the nominees included BTS, and I was waiting so nervously, and they did not win. My reaction to this came in three waves. My first reaction was disappointment and feeling bad for them. The winner was Ariana Grande and Lady Gaga for Rain on Me, and I was also mad too then because Dynamite's performance I just find superior. I know I'm super biased to say that, but I thought Dynamite was a better performance, and they really give 110% of their live performances. If there's any category BTS deserves recognition in, it is performances. They take things next level, they raise the bar for everyone. Their synchronization, their choreography, their charisma, their stage presence, it's all just across the board raising the bar for everyone else. And I felt bad just picturing their expressions before I saw their expressions, but these guys who had been feeling shut out of mainstream music recognition in many forms, radio station play and things like that, for so long, to finally have this big career-defining moment they've been dreaming of, and then see their hopes dashed. I was just picturing their devastated faces, and I was really upset for them, and I thought they deserved better. My second reaction then was less sadness and more of the anger, more that they deserved to win and that I felt like they were just unfairly shut out, and then I felt angry that the Grammys were really kind of making the BTS army all hyped up and then nothing. It was very I just wish they had been shown more appreciation that night. It very much after the fact felt like the Academy had never planned on giving BTS the award, and that it was kind of a throwing us a bone move to even nominate them. I just don't have a good feeling about the inclusivity and lack thereof in Recording Academy standards. So, in hindsight, part of me does believe I was a bit naive to be so hopeful BTS would win their Grammy. Not because they don't deserve it, but because there is just a very Western-centric focus of the Grammys and all this internalized xenophobia and things like that that have prevented them from getting the recognition they deserve in mainstream media here. So I should have seen it coming that they would be nominated to basically throw the fandom a bone, and then that's it. But I couldn't help but hope that things would be different. So stage 1, I was just really disappointed. Stage 2, I was getting angry and felt like this was an injustice. Stage 3 was kind of my just acceptance stage. This is basically a condensed version of the stages of grief that I went through. It was, and I think all BTS ARMY can agree, at the end, it was really comforting to hear their perspective on it, because at first my initial instinct was to worry that they would be devastated. But they had a really great outlook on it, and they further showed why being an ARMY is so special, and they have this unique way of connecting with fans through their very mature response. After the award show, they had a virtual after party of sorts with a V live stream. And on the V live, they were just reflecting on the night and celebrating their performance. And they were saying, well, it's odd, people are saying that we failed, but we didn't fail. We had a great night. Had such a fun, successful night. We got to perform at the Grammys and get nominated. And they were just so humble about it and viewed it as maybe it wasn't meant to be and we'll get them next year in person. And the more I thought about it, the more cool that sounded, to think that if this truly is this big moment for BTS and for K-pop and Asian artists overall, to win at a show like the Grammys, to feel like they have that recognition that they feel like they have been missing all their career and have had to work twice, if not 3 times as hard to attain, to have that ultimate moment of feeling validated. Not that they need that validation, but I'm just saying, in their minds, it's a huge deal as any musician, and especially for someone who has not been typically accepted by Western radio stations and Western media as a whole. To have that moment of affirmation must be such an ultimate, oh my gosh, is this real life moment, that I really do want BTS to get to experience that in person. It's just not the same over Zoom. Maybe it was meant to be, and that next year they will be able to in person accept that award and hopefully give an acceptance speech in Korean and not feel like they have to change who they are or how they present themselves during the Grammys. I would love for them to perform one of their Korean songs at the Grammys next year too. Another thing that seemed fateful is that 7.7 million people watched this V Live after the show. 7.7 million. And think about that. 7 is a very special number to BTS ARMY, and in general, that's just really impressive. So their live stream really, I think, helped not just remind us of how maybe this was meant to be so that they can get their award in person next time, but it was also a reminder, I think, of what makes their connection to fans so special and powerful. And when people wonder what is the big deal about them and how do their fans connect with them so deeply, what is it? I think that V Live says it all, because it was like a 14 to 16 or 17 hour time difference, and after that long night for them, or long morning or whatever, they still decided to take the time to have a live stream and catch up with fans. They always do that. They always like to catch up on our lives and see how we're doing, but also tell us how they're doing and reassure us that everything's okay. They're taking it in stride, and they do that with their live streams all the time and their other online content. So yes, a lot of other celebrities interact with fans more than ever on social media, but BTS is doing that more than even a lot of other celebrities do, and in unique ways. It's kind of like when a family member or a friend calls to check in on you at some weird hour. You know that only a close friend or family member would do that. They change your schedule for you, they ask if you're okay, or they want reassurance that you're taking it in stride. That type of dependability and support, not every celebrity has it to that extent with fans, but BTS does. And again, what makes me proud to be an ARMY is how we did try to, boost their spirits and trended a bunch of hashtags like BTS Our Greatest Prize on Twitter, and we got Dynamite to re-enter the US iTunes Top 10 after their performance. And shortly after, this is not a causal thing, but I'm just throwing in this piece of news, Dynamite is now double platinum It's also been officially confirmed to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for most simultaneous viewers for the premiere of a music video through YouTube. Speaking of much-deserved wins even when they are delayed, Story 2 is about Brave Girls. We haven't heard much from them lately. We Ride was their latest comeback that was kind of like the end of an era for them, the end of Brave Girls' active promo. Not anymore. After their song started going viral again from 2017, but just this year it was going viral, Rollin, the girls performed Rollin, the active members of Brave Girls. They performed Rollin on music shows. They've gotten 3 music show wins so far from it. And so now they are getting the 4 years later benefits of that wonderful song. That is their catchiest song ever. And now they're getting their wish fulfilled, their longtime wish to be on the show The Manager. They're just getting all these awards and accolades and are really living their dream. It's a great lesson. Never give up on your dreams. Your awards and recognition are coming, even if it's years later than you expected. This reminded me of when N-Flying released Rooftop, and then it took like January to March when no one talked about it, and then suddenly everyone was listening to Rooftop, and then N-Flying won music shows for it, and it became their big hit. It's just weird how that works. I think apps like TikTok are really helping with that, resurfacing old gems and saying, hey, remember this song? And if you don't, you're introducing a huge new crowd to it. It definitely has the feel of the TikTok effect here, what happened to Brave Girls, so I would love to see more K-pop groups with hits that seem to have been slept on suddenly see those hits get the recognition they deserve. It's never too late for them to do that. Though this case was not TikTok, this was thanks to YouTube, because someone put together this YouTube mashup video of them performing Rollin' that went super viral. Lately, it's also been a part of the Billboard charts, which is basically the military Billboard charts. The conscripted soldiers in South Korea have this playlist, their quote-unquote Billboard charts. So the Billboard and the viral video led to the resurgence of the song. And the Brave Girls have said before they thought Rollin' had #1 potential. Right when they first listened to it in 2017, they thought it had potential to really make it big. And now, 4 years later, it finally is. So I'm just very happy for them, and I love this lesson of underdogs winning, your day will come, all of that. Last big story is the biggest, most exciting news for me to deliver since Taeyeon joined Instagram a few weeks ago, which is that Taeyeon joined SoundCloud with a brand new song. Let me share the details with you about this song, and then I will get to why it really matters, and even if you're not a fan of him or his music, why this actually is a really big, important moment, not just for super biased people like me. So Taeyeon's song has 2 new versions out now. It's called Dark Clouds, and he wrote the lyrics for it and helped compose it with Royal Dive. Royal Dive helped him start working on the song at the end of 2019, which felt like the end of the before times, and then everything afterwards has been pretty rough. So it's interesting that this song came out right before everything didn't go so well. So maybe it's a good omen that now it's finally out in the world. It can send some good vibes. The song Dark Clouds reached #1 on Genius Korea's chart for K-R&B tracks. It's a song he has teased before on live streams, and it is available through SoundCloud. He has a Pro Unlimited SoundCloud, which is the type that means that he will get paid for streams. So to support his work, make sure you stream it. I will include an official link on my weekly newsletter. His SoundCloud reached 100,000 followers in less than 8 hours, and then it reached 150,000 followers in 2.5 days. Almost exactly, like 2 days and 12 hours. Other big Taeyeon news lately, his video for Long Flight just surpassed 17 million views. 17, my special number, way to go for both of us. And it only took him 23 days to reach 3 million followers on Instagram, making him the fastest artist from SM Entertainment in their history to reach that fast. So here's why it matters. What is often the case is that a K-pop group has just a joint account. So a joint YouTube account, joint Twitter account, it's just the group-wide account. And different members sometimes will sign off on specific tweets or posts to let you know, hey, I'm the person who wrote this one, or to have Q&As with their name involved so you know it's them, things like that. But they have to share, and they have to hold on to put forward the face of the group instead of who they are just outside of the group. Although actually it's happening faster lately, but years ago, it used to be years down the line before artists would get to have more of a shine outside of their group, and now seem to be able to quicker get their own social media accounts, get permission to make those, and have this identity outside of the group. Two great results. They get a lot of views on YouTube, and they bring a lot of publicity to both the group and the company overall in supporting that company's artists. And this is so important for bigger groups especially. We've talked about this a lot, of course, because we talk about NCT and 17 tons on the show, and those have so many members. And it never fails to amaze me, no matter how much I think about and talk about it, how they are able to pull off such synchronization and everything, and balance out each other's vocals with so many members. How they manage harmonies, choreography, etc. It's like one giant group project, and even a small group project sounds intimidating to me. So, very impressive feat to just have any performance, let alone albums on albums and videos on videos of their work together. It can't be easy. No matter how much you like your bandmates, it can't be easy if you want to pursue a music career to have to share lines in songs with so many other people, so you get a smaller fraction of the lines, a smaller fraction of the time to have a solo dance break or whatever. A lot smaller of a percentage of the time you get to shine on your own. So if you really want the spotlight on you and your artistry, it's really hard to do that with the group. And so it's really important for just the artist's freedom and mental well-being to express themselves outside of the group. So there's a culmination of factors here. There's the fact that Taeyeon is from such a big group. There's the fact that he's getting paid then for the SoundCloud streams. And there's the fact he's growing his social presence on Instagram as well so quickly. I hope this is a special precedent for K-pop artists who want to do their own thing with SoundCloud releases, and with in general just feeling like they can have, on the side they can write and work on their own music, and they don't need it to be a whole thing if they don't want it to. They can just release a song when they feel like it, and they don't need to make a big promo blitz out of it. They can, that'd be great if they got the resources to do that from their companies, but the numbers when it comes to followers, views, chart placement, etc., all numbers point to this being a good thing to let artists create. It's as simple as that, and I know a lot of artists have released SoundCloud tracks before. It's not like he's setting a precedent there. I just think it's interesting to watch these factors culminate at the same time. The Instagram presence, the SoundCloud, the release of a new track. All of those factors just amplify the message this incident sends, which is give artists freedom to do what they want. And it will not threaten their brand. It actually probably helps. Because if you get to do that thing on the side, then when you go back to doing group promo, you're probably more recharged. Just mentally, you are ready to give up more of the spotlight because you already had your time in the spotlight. There's that human need to be recognized for your work and your artistry. And if you feel that you were recognized and validated for it on your own, you're then probably going to be more cooperative when you have to go back to being just one of 23 people being recognized in a performance. It's just, overall, I think it will help group relationships and dynamics and the health of the group, the longevity of the group. I want to take a second to have some Taeyeon lyric appreciation because this new song, Dark Clouds, is a great continuation of Lawn Flight. He has this really cute analogy that he uses in Lawn Flight that seems to have progressed in Dark Clouds. In Lawn Flight, it was basically, he described his negative feelings as like a shark hovering over him or circling him or just in general having this threatening presence. And then this new song, cute whale, a protective whale. And I just thought that was a really cute evolution of this analogy of his. He's a really unique, cool way to look at the world and describe his feelings through song, and that always shows through his lyrics. Using this analogy again made me think of when he was getting some negative reactions to Lawn Flight because people were saying that the lyrics were childish or silly, but he had the best reaction, I think, that he could have had, where he basically said, well, yeah, isn't that a good thing? Like, why are you trying to grow up too fast? You should be in touch with your inner child. I still have that inner creativity and imaginative mind like a little kid. And I thought that was just the perfect response. Time for your miscellaneous rapid-fire headlines. Mott's Live, Mottlive. Go to Mott Live's website for more information about this concert they're holding April 4th, 6 p.m. Korean time, 4 a.m. Central Time. The lineup includes Monsta X, Lunar Solar, and Ghost 9. WJSN has just joined TikTok. BTS won all 3 of the Kids' Choice Awards they were nominated for this year. favorite song, favorite music group, and favorite global music group. Rosé has made a stunning solo debut with On the Ground, a song that reached number 1 on iTunes in 51 regions and reached number 8 on Spotify's world chart, and the B-side Gone reached number 11 on that world chart. She performed this on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon earlier this week, and the album it comes off of, R, has broken records. Last time we talked on the show about this release, we were already talking about 400,000 pre-orders. Now she's at 500,000. Reports vary a little bit, but we can at least say for sure that the On the Ground music video got 39 million views in its first 24 hours, if not more. As for Blackpink as a group, their How You Like That video just surpassed 800 million views, and the dance performance version of How You Like That has surpassed 600 million views. Henry and Yoon and Mino from Winner, the three of them will all have their artwork featured this year at a London art fair. This gallery will be on display October 13th through 17th, and this fall 2021 show will actually be the second season that Mino has had his art displayed there. EXO Schumann is having his own solo live stream fan meet / concert thing through Yes24, so go to Yes24's site for the tickets to that. That one will be held March 22nd, 5 p.m. Korean time, which is 3 a.m. Central Time Zone. One silver lining in IZ*ONE disbanding next month is that we get to see them engage in solo pursuits, and one of those will be Miyawaki Sakura joining Big Hit Entertainment. They say she's in the middle of signing contracts with them, so that's an interesting way of putting it because it's not this vague in talks with different agencies, it's in contract negotiations with them. So pretty much guaranteed. BTS is now officially the first act to ever occupy both spot 1 and 2 on IFPI's annual album Pure Sales chart list. BTS Map of the Soul 7, that album reached number 1, and B was number 2. Also on the list is Yonzo Kenshi's Stray Sheep at number 3, which I loved. And another J-pop star, Arashi, made the list for This Is Arashi at 9th place on the list of top 10 album sales for 2020. Blackpink's The Album also made the list at number 5, making them the first girl group to have their album be in the top 10 of the IFPI since Destiny's Child in 2004. New gold certifications in Japan, BTS for Best of BTS Japan Edition, and NCT 127's Loveholic, we love to see it. A few days ago was the 40th Golden Cinema Film Fest Awards. Bong Joon-ho continues to get the respect he deserves. Parasite won Best Film, and he won for Film Development Achievement Award. Yua from Girls' Generation for her role in Exit won the Cinematographer's Choice Popularity Award. And Mingho from SHINee won the jury's special award. More award show news. The 35th Japan Golden Disc Awards was held, and BTS won for Asian Artist, Best Asian Artist, for the third year in a row. And with 8 wins this year, BTS became the most awarded artist at this event in a single year in the Golden Disc Award history. Their baby brother group, TXT, also went away with 2 awards that night, and 17 for the 24 Hours song received an award as well. So lots of further proof big hit label artists are simply the best. For the Best 3 Albums category, the winners were BTS for Map of the Soul 7, BTS for the Japanese version of that same album, and 17 with 24 Hours. Ghost 9 has officially decided that their fandom name will be the Ghosties, which I personally think is pretty cute. Monsta X's Hyunwon has joined Instagram. The Mindset audio-based app with collections of audio stories is continuing to add celebrities to its roster. Jay from Day 6 is the latest to have a Mindset audio collection come out. That will officially be released the 23rd. Mark from Got7 has a new limited edition collection out. If you want to buy the XC3 clothing, go to represent.com. BTS are the new models for the home appliance brand Kowei. Super Junior's long-awaited, finally out album, The Renaissance, topped iTunes in 20 regions around the world upon its release. And lastly, some quick view count updates. Reaching 100 million views is NCTU's The Seventh Sense, Wonder Girls' Nobody English version, which is their first to actually reach that many views. Side note, why isn't the Wonder Girls Nickelodeon special on Paramount Plus? Let's petition for that. And Sistar's My Boy. That is all for the news roundup today. Thank you all as always for listening. I'll talk to you all soon. And really quick before I go, please, please, please send all of your love, support, money when you can, time, energy, all of that to Asian-owned businesses and anti-Asian hate crime organizations right now. Directions for where to go for more information about how you can help, how you can report hate crimes, attend anti-bias training or hate crime intervention training, things like that. anti-asianviolenceresources.carrd.co, gofundme.com/AAPI, standagainsthatred.org, stopaapihate.org, and lastly, apenyej.org. So much in store for the show, so please stay tuned. We will talk about more BTS literary influences, some headlines, some K-Contact updates, some interviews, not just for the website but for this show, are coming up very soon. We're going to break down all of the updates from the latest Big Hit Entertainment briefing about the changes to their company. I'm very excited for what's to come. Thank you all for listening today, and I will talk to you all again soon.